and welcome to another May Arts video. Latrice Murphy here, and today I want to share with you how I created these handmade floral embellishments using the double-faced or the single-faced satin ribbon that May Arts sells in their store. I'm using a deep purple and just white, and then I have fallen in love with gold, which I never really loved gold that much before, with this mesh, and I've used some washi tape that is from another company, but this mesh is some of the funnest stuff that I've ever seen. I'm going to see myself using this stuff for Halloween and Valentine's Day. This gold color is like perfect for so many different projects. Alright, so what I've already done is I've already pre-cut a few of my pieces, and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of trim a few of the pieces down like I've done for the already made card. So for where I'm stamping my sentiment, I just simply gave it an angle cut because I also am going to give this gold mesh an angle cut. And that's just to give it a little bit more uniform look. Okay, so then I know that that will go there, and I know that this will go over the top. And then I've got this awesome gold washi tape, this wide washi tape. This stuff is from Freckled Fawn. You can find it online. And I'm just going to place this along the top of my card, and this is pretty much just to fill up a little bit more space. You could stamp the background of your card. You could stamp the background of your card to give it some texture, but I just went ahead and added a little bit more of this gold color in that way. Okay, so we've got these pieces all set and ready to go. Next, what you want to use is, this is the ribbon that I used, okay? This is just the 2.5 inch wide single-faced satin. I used the purple and the white, and I just trimmed them down into rectangles or squares, and then I double it up and I simply cut my circles. So for that purple flower, I did a wavy cut. So what I'm going to do is cut a circle first, and then after that I want to give it a little bit of a wavy cut. It makes it look more like a flower than just stacked circles. Alright, so my circle is not perfect. It doesn't really matter if it's perfect or not. And then I'm going to go back in with my scissors, and I'm just going to give it a wavy cut. This makes it look more like petals. And this again is not perfect. It doesn't have to be super uniform. You can always go back in and trim a little bit off if you need to. Okay, like that. Get rid of those pieces. Alright, so I've got those, and then I'm going to go ahead and do some white pieces as well. The white pieces are not going to be wavy. They're just going to be a little bit smaller than what the purple is, because I know I want them to be the centers. Alright, so I kind of line that up. Those need to be a little bit smaller, so I'll go around just one more time and take off a little bit more. Okay, so then I know those fit right in the center of that purple. Alright, so those are cut. I'm going to cut a few more little ones for my smaller flowers. Okay, so now I've got all these little petals, or these layers of this flower, cut out. And next what we're going to do is we're going to burn the ends using a candle. Okay, so I wanted that one to be a little bit smaller for that middle. We're going to burn the ends using a candle. Now you could use a smaller candle, obviously, This is just a candle that I had sitting around. Let me zoom you out just a little bit so you can see. Okay, so we're going to take these here, and the light on that is really bright, but we're going to lightly touch that to the end, and you just want to burn the ends, and it also helps it curl up a little bit. You could use a little tea light for this. You could also use a candle in a jar. Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to burn all of these. Okay, so now I have all of my petals created, and all I want to do now is I want to take these and layer them, and I'm going to turn them a little bit so that they're not exactly perfectly lined up. And then I want to take this middle one with this little one here. Alright, so you can see that I've got them all layered. Okay, and then what I'm going to do to secure these until I'm ready to put them on my card, I'm just using my little Tim Holtz stapler, and I'm just going to add one staple in the middle. Alright, just like that. Just to hold them together. So I'm going to do those for these little ones as well. Okay. And the reason I am using a stapler in the middle is because I know that I'm going to go back and cover it up with gemstones. Okay, so there is that. Alright, so next what you want to do is, I've got all my gemstones here. I just pulled out some pearls, and then I'm using glossy accents to attach them. Glossy accents will help those gemstones stay where you want them to stay. Alright, so I'm just going to give a nice little pool of glossy accents in the middle of each one of these. And if your glossy accents feels like it's not coming out, just I leave a pin in there, and that keeps it. Okay, so I'm just pulling up some glossy accents in the middle here, and then I'm going to choose my pearls. And I usually put like an odd number of pearls, so we'll just go with 3 on that one, and then I'll put on the little white ones, I'll put 3 of the white ones on each one. So there are the pearls in the centers of the 3 flowers. Okay. So now I want to move back to my card. I want to let those dry a little bit before I adhere them to the card. And I want to adhere my mesh down on the bottom. And I will have to trim a little bit of this off. And then what I did is, all I did was add a couple of staples where I knew the flowers would be covering up. And that just holds my mesh in place. The mesh is pretty hard to adhere otherwise. And then I'm going to add one more way down here where I know my sentiment will cover. Alright, and let's get our sentiment stamp out. And we will stamp on that. Alright, so there is our sentiment stamp. And I am just going to go ahead and adhere this right to the card. Right across the top of this. And I'm leaving room on this side because I don't want to put my flower down there and then it cover up part of the sentiment. Alright, so now we can adhere our 3 flowers. So on the back, I'm just going to give it a generous portion of glossy accents. You could also have stapled the flowers right to the card and then added the gemstones. But I like to make these flowers in advance and have them just waiting for a project. Alright, so there's that one. Okay, we'll put our other one there. And our last one will go right down there. And then once that dries, you will have a finished card. Let me go ahead and trim off this little end here. So you want to let that dry nice and flat. And this is what your card will look like when it's done. So now I have 2 custom embellishment flower cards. I just love making these. And May Arts has this ribbon in an array of colors. I mean, there's so many colors in it. You can make headbands, you can put these flowers on scrapbooking pages, you can put them on mini album covers, you can put them on home decor projects. It's really great stuff. So I hope that you'll give it a try today. Thank you so much for watching, and please visit May Arts blog for even more information on awesome projects in using ribbon. Thanks. Bye.